Howdy and hello. I'm excited to be here with all of you lovely ladies here at the Ordinary Business Summit. My name is Selma Dawelbeit. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and process consultant, and I help companies of all sizes keep their money by focusing on their processes before their tech. And I'm about to save you from making some really expensive software mistakes. Today, you're getting my proven 4-step system that's literally helped you save thousands of dollars, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use it. So let's jump in. 3 years ago, I spent $500 on project management software that I abandoned after exactly 1 week. And even worse than that, I spent like more than $1,000 that year um, from AppSumo deals. I thought I was being really smart, getting lifetime deals on software. And it turns out a lifetime deal on something you don't actually use is just really expensive digital clutter taking up space in your browser or your bookmarks. And now, what's coming up in a couple weeks, Black Friday, and your inbox is gonna absolutely explode with software deals that are going to look irresistible. 50% off, limited time only, best deal of the year. And so here's what I learned the hard way. We buy software with our emotions and not with strategy. So today I'm going to share that exact framework that'll help you resist the so-called amazing deals and make actually smart decisions instead. So let's get into it. We're smart business owners, right? We know we need good systems to run our businesses effectively. That's why we're here at the Ordinary Summit. But we keep making the business expensive. Keep making the same expensive mistakes over and over again. We get dazzled by this gorgeous feature list and demos. We choose tools because our competitors or our collaborators are using them, not because they actually solve our problems. We tell ourselves, "Oh, I'll grow into those advanced features," and then we never do. And then before we know it, we're dying the death of $1,012 a month subscriptions. And if that sounds familiar, you're about to fix this problem once and for all. So here's my process first, tech second system, and it has 4 key steps. First, you want to identify your actual problem, and I mean the real problem, not what you think the problem is. Second, you're going to map your current process so you can see exactly where things are breaking down. Third, you're going to research with a scoring system that eliminates all that feature overwhelm. And then fourth, you're going to test with real work before you spend a single dollar. And if you master these 4 steps, I promise you will never waste money on software again. Step 1 trips up a lot of people, so I really want you to pay attention here. Your challenge is going to be to write down your problem in exactly 1 sentence, not a paragraph, not a whole list of complaints, 1 clear sentence. And I want to show you what I mean. So before I created this framework, I would have said something like, I need better project management because I'm disorganized and my clients are confused and I can't track anything and deadlines are coming up and they're slipping, and honestly everything feels like a complete mess. And I know for like my neurodivergent folks, you're already feeling like that. So we don't want to feel like that with software in our business, right? We've got better things to do. So after learning to think really systematically about it, I got really crystal clear on what my problem is. I lose track of which deliverables I've promised to each client. And you can see the massive difference there. The first version would have led me straight to some really expensive, complex project management platform with a million features I don't need, versus the second version points me directly towards what I need, a simple tracking solution. I want you to pause the video and think about your problem and then write it down in 15 words or less. And if you find yourself needing a whole paragraph to explain your problem, then you aren't clear enough yet. So pause, think about it, and then jump in once you've written it down. Step 2 is going to be all about mapping your current process, even if it's actually broken. And actually, especially if it's broken, because that's where we're going to find where your money is leaking. So let me show you my disaster of a deliverable tracking process. So in this process, step 1 would be client request work through an email or a phone call or a Zoom call, right? And then step 2, I agree to the timeline, usually verbally or in a follow-up email. Step 3, I work on the deliverable. Step 4, pause. This is where everything falls apart. I completely forget what I promised. I get caught up in business development, marketing, my life, other aspects of the project. So I forget what I promised and when I promised it. And then, I get that email, so asking for status update. And then, I panic, I scramble to remember what I committed to, and I try to respond as professionally as possible while internally freaking out. So hopefully, none of y'all have been there, but I'm sensing that a lot of us have been there. So step 4 is exactly where money is leaking. We need to find that precise breakdown point in the process because that's where the right tool will actually help instead of just adding more complexity to our lives. So how do we do that? We get strategic about research. So, and this next step would be using the scoring system that completely eliminates feature overwhelm. Yours might look different, but this is what mine looked like. I needed it to be as simple as possible. So, must have features get 40 points. So, these are deal breakers that are in like the features that directly solve my specific problem. And nice to have features get 30 points. These are features that would be cool to have, but aren't essential. Ease of use gets 20 points because if you won't actually use it when you're stressed and busy, it really doesn't matter how powerful the tool is. And then finally, price/value gets 10 points. And my golden rule when it comes to all of this is never buy software that scores below so many points total. Yours might look different, but my rule of thumb is 70 is like anything below that. I'm not going to waste my time with it because it just doesn't work for me. 70 and above, good to go. I'll purchase it, and I probably will be less sad about not using it or it not working out for me because I was strategic about it. Next, this step 4 is going to be very critical. Never, ever buy software without testing it with your actual work for at least 2 weeks. Here were my specific success criteria for the deliverable tracking problem. I can track client deliverables in under 2 minutes. I can check project status automatically, and instead of relying on my terrible memory. And then finally, I can actually use the system when I'm busy and stressed out. That last one is huge. So here's my pro tip. Test during your absolute busiest week, not when you have time to fiddle around and explore your features. And if you won't use it when you're overwhelmed and behind on everything, you won't use it at all. So a lot of software companies are counting on you to buy your software based on those really perfect demo scenarios, and the partnerships and all those cool clips. Don't fall for it. Test with real clients, real deadlines, and real pressure. So if you really want, like, I really like testing all like around the end of the year, during holidays, when things are getting really busy, because I'm like, okay, if it doesn't work then, it's not going to work the rest of the year, right? Like, I don't want something that's going to work when I'm rocking at 100%. I want something to work for me when I'm rocking at 50%. Life is busy, life is lifing. I need my software to work for me then, right? Not like when I'm like, oh, everything is perfect. This is perfect. No, I need it to work. Like, I need things to work. This is going to work. And I want to share with you what happened when I started using this framework consistently. So before this systematic approach, I was wasting over $1,500 annually on unused software. That's a really crazy number, I know, and most of us can't afford to waste that much, right? So I was buying based on demos and feature lists that looked impressive, and I was constantly felt behind because I didn't have whatever the latest must-have tool was, which now in the age of AI and there's like a bajillion no-code tools, I really want to always dive in and purchase and test it out for a month or two. But now that I have this framework, I waste less than $100 per year on software. I choose tools that actually fit my workflow instead of trying to force my workflow to fit some complicated tool. And most importantly, I make confident strategic decisions instead of emotional impulse purchases. And the truth is, you're not behind because you don't have every shiny tool that gets featured in productivity newsletters. Especially now there's a bajillion AI, tools that everyone can use. Claude, ChatGPT, everyone and everything wants you to pay $15, $20 a month for the really good stuff. Now you're going to be actually smart because you're choosing intentionality based on what your business actually needs. And so this is what I want you to do. This week, I want you to write your problem, if you haven't already done so, in one clear sentence. Remember, 15 words or less. Tomorrow, I want you to map the process for that problem, right? Make it as simple as possible. It doesn't have to be as complicated as mine. Just step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, I want you to apply this framework within the next couple of weeks because, again, Black Friday is coming up. Those emails are going to start showing up in your inbox. So apply the framework and figure out what your problem is, what you need to purchase, and that way you can even go into your like QuickBooks or whatever you're using and go, I'm really not using the software. Take it out. Take it out. And hopefully that way you're rescuing your money and using it for what you actually need and not just what looks nice. And remember this, strong processes beat fancy tools every single time. If you build your foundation first, then choose software that actually serves your business instead of complicating it. You're going to make it so much easier for when your business actually scales or when you need to scale down. That way, you know exactly absolutely what you need versus what's nice to have, but you don't actually need. Thank you for watching. I'd love to stay connected with you on LinkedIn. You can find me there. And I generally love seeing how people adopt this framework for their specific businesses and industries. For those of y'all who got the freebies, I created a 1-hour rescue revenue challenge that you can honestly do over your lunch hour. And today we just talked about how to save your rescue your revenue, from your tech tools, from your SaaS tools. But honestly, it goes through everything else in your business, and I'd love for you to use that and dive in and save your money and use it for what actually works. We don't want to waste money anywhere else. So that's going to be in that goodie bag for the Ordinary Business Summit. So once again, thank you for letting me share this framework with you. Your software decisions got so much smarter, and your business is going to be so much stronger. Your business is going to be so much stronger for it and better for it. So hopefully see you around soon. Take care. Thank you.